All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our live stream of Western Texas College basketball. The men are going to try to have some better luck if they can than the women did, hosting the Odessa Wranglers. Of course, the Wranglers coming in tonight ranked 22nd in the nation. They're 2-0 in the conference and 11-5 overall. Western Texas 1-1 in the conference. Your Westerners overall are 11-5, but they're going to be a little short-handed tonight. They've got 7 players available. Head coach Matt Hardy of the Westerners, head coach of the Odessa Wranglers, Chris Bauman, assisted by Evan Ustaki and Chris Buchanan. Let's look at the starting lineups. First for Odessa, Dion Wright Ford, a freshman from the Bronx, New York. Number 4, Dennis Jenkins, averaging 16 points a game, a sophomore from Dallas, Texas. Number 5, Daniel Rivera, 9 points a game, a freshman from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Number 12, Dontrell Hewlett, a freshman from Sacramento, California. And number 32, Shaquem Alcindor, a sophomore, 6'8", from St. Croix at the U.S. Virgin Islands. For the Westerners, Tyson Brown, a freshman from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Justin Davis, a freshman from Waterbury, Connecticut. Lorenzo Downey, a freshman from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Dawson John, a freshman from Brantford, Ontario. And inside, Tyson Brown goes for the dunk, and he's fouled immediately. And who was it, Shaquem? You said Alcindor?
Yes.
Okay, so Alcindor picks up the foul. And, all right, that's the starting lineups. And, Walker, we've got our work cut out for us, and you've got the first half.
Tyson Brown is at the line. He makes his first shot and makes his second. Ball's been brought down by Jenkins. Given over to Hewlett. Back to Hewlett. Back to Jenkins. He drives in, goes up and shoots. Makes the shot. Then do a full court press against the Westerners.
And Kaleem Bennett in the starting lineup, the sophomore from Hamilton, Ontario, averaging 10 points a game for the Westerners. And Jenkins is the leading scorer for Odessa.
Goes.
Well, we've got that play down. How about that? Another alley-oop to Tyson Brown, who rams it through with both hands.
Yep. Ball's been given to Forday. Over to Hewlett. Knocked away by Dawson John. He's going to go in, and it's up.
Oh, I
but
hope
they're going to call it on Tyson Brown. He touched it as it went to go in.
Yeah, it's not a foul, but I think you're right. They're going to call an offensive goaltend. But at least an aggressive start by the Westerners, 6-2 the lead here in the first half. Remember, with the men, it's 2 halves, not 4 quarters. 18 minutes to go, and it's just a quick 25 seconds here. So we're going to go ahead and keep it here, Walker. And so good aggressive move by the men, but, of course, only having 7 available for the game. Now, the last game out for the Westerners was against Ranger, a very good squad. They lost 112-82. They only had 7 available for that game, and they were led in scoring by Kaleem Bennett with 22 points, Downing with 14, and Tyson Brown with 15.
Forday has the ball, gives it to Hewlett, to Jenkins, inside, and out to Forday, to Rivera, to Jenkins, rebounded by Hewlett. Jenkins gets the ball over to Forte. Jenkins fouled by Lorenzo Downey.
Well, and when you're a little bit short-handed, unfortunately, Walker, you just don't have a lot of fouls to give, because you can't hardly afford to get into foul trouble. And so for the Westerners, it's sort of going to have to be the next man up kind of mentality.
Yep. I do notice on the Odessa men's team that there looks like to be 2 players that are related on the roster. Number 13, Mike Rivera, and number 5, Daniel Rivera.
That I couldn't tell you, but there's a possibility. I will tell you that Daniel Rivera and Dennis Jenkins have been a real 1-2 punch for Odessa so far in this season. Missed free throw there. It's 4-2 Westerners. 18 minutes to go in the first half.
Dawson John has the ball. And he gets fouled by Jenkins. That'll be his first.
Well, if the game is called pretty close, that could end up favoring the Westerners. Westerners going from left to right on your screen, wearing, of course, the white uniforms with the blue numerals and lettering with the green trim, and Odessa in the road black and blue trim.
Being given to Davis inside of Tyson Brown. They're going to call a charge on Tyson Brown.
Wow. And the reason I say that, Tyson did initiate the contact, but the problem I had is the fact that the guy was back there standing inside the circle. So, but nevertheless, Tyson gets the foul.
Yep. Ball is going to be brought down by Marshall, given to Jenkins. Up top to Armstrong. Back to Marshall. To Rivera. Rebounded and given to Dawson John. Lorenzo Downey has the ball. Over to Dawson John. To Davis. All the way across to Dawson. He shoots a 3. Makes the shot.
Nice shot by Dawson John. The ladies hadn't played since December the 8th. That game against the Rangers, the Ranger College by the men, was on January the 3rd, so they've got more recent action under their belt.
Yep.
7-2 Westerners, the early lead early in the first half.
Ball's moved set up and put into play by Justin Davis. Lorenzo Downey has the ball. Given to KB. To Davis. Bounce pass to Lorenzo Downey in the corner. He shoots, misses, and rebounded by number 5, Rivera. Nope. Rebounded by Armstrong. Pulled out by Marshall. Given to Jenkins. He's going to do a jump shot. Score it now is Western 7. Odessa College 4. Dawson John to Lorenzo Downey. All the way across to Justin KB. And tip given to Marshall. He jump shots, misses, rebounded by Dawson John.
Well, the Westerners playing zone, probably to try to help protect themselves a little bit in foul trouble would be a guess. And, of course, Odessa would want to speed the game up, and the Westerners try to be at a little bit more of a controlled pace as Tyson commits the travel. Going in for Odessa, number 15, Garfield Turner, a freshman, 6'8" from Washington, D.C. So if you're Odessa, you might want to try to speed up the game, take advantage of the superior depth in numbers. And for the Westerners, they go into a man-to-man now from that zone.
Ball set up by Marshall, given up top to Jenkins. He drives. Pulls it up top to Rivera. Gives it to Marshall. He goes up, makes his shot. Do full court press. Dawson John to Lorenzo, all the way across to Justin Davis to KB. Westerners are doing a quick pass to try to keep Odessa men from getting the ball from them, which I think is really good.
Well, they're breaking the press the right way, when you get on the backside and you get the ball in the middle, it can get you some open opportunities.
Yes.
And that time, KB hits the short jumper. 9-6, Westerners, 15 minutes to go in the first half. And Jaden Jefferson, a freshman from Erie, Pennsylvania, is at the scorer's table.
Ball's been given to Marshall. Over to the top to Jenkins. Over to Mike Rivera. Back to Jenkins. Back to Mike Rivera. He shoots and makes the shot.
Oh, they're going to give that to him.
They're going to give a flagrant warning.
Delay a game warning. Okay, delay a game warning, right. For hitting the basketball.
Yep.
9-8 Westerner, 1 point lead. 14:36 to go in the first half.
Knocked away by Trey Richardson. KB gets the ball to Dawson John. And he puts it in.
Nice move from Dawson John from Canada, getting to the rim and been able to use it to avoid the block. 11-8 Westerners, 14:16 to go in the first half.
Marshall has the ball, given over to the side to Armstrong, up top to Trey Richardson, back to Marshall. Inside to Hugh. Dawson John gives it to Lorenzo Downey. Downey shoots.
Wow.
Ooh, almost had it.
Way out of
KB.
there. Great save by KB. Into Jefferson.
Lorenzo Downey. Heavily guarded. He still goes up and shoots. He gets the rebound and puts it in.
Oh, great body control. I'm surprised he didn't get the call on that. But Lorenzo Downey, he knows a way to find a way to score the basketball down low. 13-8, 13 and a half to go in the first half. Westerners with the early lead. Nice recovery by Bennett.
Good job by KB, making the shooter shoot up in the air and jump. And then as he goes up, he can't shoot because his hand's in the way.
All right, there's a timeout on the floor. We're going to go ahead and take a quick 60-second break as well. 13-8, Westerners with the early lead over Odessa here in the first half. All right, we're back from the timeout. Garen Skates and Walker Barrett here. 13:24 to go in the first half. The Westerners inbounding the basketball and an early lead, 13-8.
Dawson John with the ball, gives it to Lorenzo Downey, back to Dawson. Drives it, goes up, and one!
Boy, Dawson John taking it to the rack and was able to keep the body under control and drew the foul. We'll see who they got it on.
Jenkins.
Oh, for Dennis Jenkins, that's his second. If there's one person on Odessa you would like to get in foul trouble, it would be Dennis Jenkins. 15-8, Westerners
Ball
the
brought
lead.
down by B.J. Francis, given over to Jenkins. Back up top to B.J., over the side to Mike Rivera. Back to Jenkins, to B.J. Francis. Stolen away.
Now they're going to call a kick.
Ty Richardson to Jenkins to B.J. Francis, back to Jenkins. B.J. Francis shoots a three. Rebounded by Mike Rivera. Knocked away by Lorenzo Downey. Up top to Jenkins to B.J. Francis, inside to Daniel Rivera. And rebounded by Tyson Brown for the Westerners.
Good job by Tyson to stay disciplined and not try to go right back up and commit the foul. And there you're just going to have to let him go on that steal by Trey Richardson, who averages 8 points a game for Odessa. And then Trey Richardson knocks it off of Lorenzo Downing. So the regulars are going to get the ball right back. Westerners lead 15-10, 12-17 to go in the first half.
All the way across to Trey Richardson. To the side to Armstrong.
All right. They tried to jam it back in on the putback, did Mike Rivera, 6'8" sophomore, but it went out of bounds, so it'll be Westerner basketball.
KB, he gets fouled, no call.
Westerner basketball, 25 seconds on the shot clock. Inbounding from their end of the court.
Lorenzo Downey passes it into KB, up top to Jefferson. Back to Jefferson. Over to Lorenzo. Inside to Tyson Brown. They're going to double team him. Lorenzo Downey shoots. Makes a three.
Lorenzo Downing, he will, if he gets open out there, he will continue to shoot it. Nice shot by Lorenzo, 18-10 Westerners.
Ball's been given over to Armstrong. Up top to Hewlett. Bounce pass. And taken away by Dawson John.
You know, and the Westerners also, of course, without the services of their leading 18 points a game scorer, Gary Clark. So hopefully we'll be able to get him back pretty soon.
Jefferson. Tyson Brown, he gets fouled. And speaking of Gary Clark, he's also a Tarleton University commit as well.
He is. That's true. You know, one thing interesting there about what Tyson did is that the pass to him was not where you normally want it for the big man down low. It was at his ankles.
Yeah.
But he had good hands and was able to get control of it and put it up. And even though he didn't get the basket, he was fouled. He misses the first free throws, another one coming. Some substitutions.
That foul is on Mike Rivera, who's a sophomore out of Sacramento, California. Nope, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Hewlett. Inside to Daniel Rivera, to Jenkins. He shoots, misses. Jefferson all the way across the KB. And he puts it in!
And KB goes in and rams it through with the two-handed jam, and he was fouled.
They're going to call that on Hewlett. They're going to bring in Jackson.
Anthony Marshall coming into the game as well, a freshman from Brooklyn, New York.
And they're bringing back in Armstrong.
Darrell Armstrong Jr., freshman from Orlando, Florida.
KB makes a shot, making the score 21-10.
Westerners. 10:49 to go in the first half.
Marshall has the ball, gives it over to Hewlett.
Offensive
charge.
Foul. And you could see Dontrell Hewlett, you saw the same thing I did, put out the arm, the bent arm, the arm bar, and pushed off.
Can't do that.
Not if they catch you.
No. You cannot push off your defender.
Oh, Lorenzo tried to throw it right through a defender. And they gave up the jam from Daniel Rivera.
Dawson John, they were trying to double team him in the center.
Yep, they're running the 2-2-1 zone trap.
We're going to give it to Jackson all the way across to Lorenzo Downey. He shoots a three, misses, and out of bounds.
I told you he'll keep shooting. Into the game, and I think you mentioned this, Tylen Jackson, a freshman, 6'6" from Friendswood, Texas.
Not too far from home.
No, Justin Davis comes back into the game.
Ball's been given to Terry Brown. Inside to Marshall, to Brown. Rebounded by Jackson. They're going to call a foul.
And they're going to get it on Terry Brown, the freshman from Fayetteville, Georgia. I believe, from what I saw from the designation from the referee. 9:41. Go ahead.
He kept slapping his arm.
Instead of just trying to reach and grab the basketball. 9:41 to go in the first half. 21-12 Westerners over Odessa. And Tylen Jackson at the free throw line for the Westerners, and he gets the first one.
There's only a few returning players from last season from the conference championship, which is Lorenzo Downey, Tyson Brown, Dawson John. Hands are up and still made the shot. Shaquem.
Alcindor
Bounce
gets the
pass
bucket.
to KB. All the way to Justin Davis. Block called by number 32, which is going to be Shaquem. It's going to be his second. Shaquem has 2. Dontrell Hallett has 2. And so does Denise Jenkins.
Trey Richardson comes into the ball game, as well as Mike Rivera for Odessa, and also number 4, Dennis Jenkins. You know, and the other thing is it's going to be hard to get Odessa into too much foul trouble because they're so deep. They have everybody and a full deep roster as Justin hits the free throw, has another one coming. And again, Gary Clark's out and missing some other people, so we're down to 7 players tonight like we were against Ranger. And so,
I mean, we only had 6 when we played Loyalty Prep.
yeah. The shot, no good, but rebounded by Odessa. They get the offensive rebound, and Daniel Rivera gets the putback.
KB gets hit in the mouth.
Tyson Brown's going to come into the game. And 9 minutes to go in the first half. Westerners lead 24-16. Oh, no, he's not. They're waiting for him to.
Over to Jackson. Gives it to Jefferson. Bounce pass to Davis.
Nice bounce pass.
This is a really good game. Jefferson shoots. Oh, almost. Rebounded by Richardson. Given to Jenkins. And shot made.
By Trey Richardson, hits the three. 24-19 Westerners, and again 2-2-1 zone pressure by Odessa, and that one Jackson tried to put a lot on that pass, and it went past John and out of bounds. So now Tyson Brown does come back into the game, as well as Lorenzo Downey, and Coach Matt Hardy just forced right now to just kind of mix and match a little bit and try to get his starters a rest, a minute here and a minute there when he can.
Right in the hands of Dawson John.
Oh, wow. Tried to put a lot of action on that basketball. If Dawson had been able to just go straight up to the rim, he might have been able to draw the foul. But as it is, Odessa knocked it out of bounds, so Westerners lead 24-19, 8:07 to go in the first half.
They're going to bring in B.J. Francis.
A freshman out of Dallas, Texas. I will say, when you look at the large roster and where they're from for Odessa, they've pretty well got most of the globe covered. Internationally and a lot internationally and statewide as well.
Fouled.
Boy, and Tyson Brown has been huge in there.
Daniel Rivera gets that foul. One more foul, and the Westerners will be going into double bonus.
Number 15, Garfield Turner, a freshman, 6'8", out of Washington, D.C., into the game. Tyson Brown for the Westerners. Back at the foul line. Misses, and somehow Davis got the rebound. I'm not sure how he did it. Tried to get it back into Tyson, and he was fouled.
And I believe it was by Garfield. No, it's going to be on Mike Rivera.
That's what I was thinking. That's his second, I think. Yeah, second. So now that the Westerners are in the double bonus, that's going to mean already with just under 8 minutes to go in the first half, Westerners in the double bonus, so they'll get to shoot 2 free throws every time.
And I can hear the other coach from all the way over here yelling at his team.
Well, other than they've shot free throws actually fairly poorly in the first half, you couldn't ask much more, from the Westerners, given being outmanned by the numbers right now.
Richardson has the ball, gives it to Jenkins over the top to B.J. Francis, rebounded by Cuthler, and then taken away and fouled by Chandler Cuthler.
Frustrated because of the miss. And again, Tyson Brown very easily could have picked up a foul in that circumstance, but he got a better position and kept from reaching in. So Jefferson at the line. And again, he'll get to shoot 2.
Makes his first one.
Daniel Rivera at the scorer's table. He checks back in for Cuthrell.
Makes the second.
27-19 Westerners, 7.5 to go in the first half.
Ball is brought down by B.J. Francis. Mike Rivera screens. Passes it over to Jenkins. He pulls inside, pulls it out to Daniel Rivera. Gives back to B.J. Francis. Up top to Trey Richardson. Gives it to Jenkins. Over to B.J. Francis. Inside. And in it goes. Shot made by Daniel Rivera.
Westerners back into that zone and full court pressure again by Odessa.
Nice job of keeping the ball in hand, and he gets.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I was going to say Tyson Brown almost had his arm taken off, and no whistle by the one official underneath, but the other one from away from the basket
That's going to
called
be.
the foul against Mike Rivera.
That should have been his third, but they put that other one on somebody else. We'll be back. That is a timeout.
All right, 27-21. Tyson Brown will be going to the line to shoot two. In the first half, Westerners with the lead against Odessa. We'll be back in just a moment.
Ball's being brought down by Marshall. Given over to Jenkins. Back to Marshall. Inside to Daniel Rivera. Rebounded by Terry Brown, and shot is made. Score now is Westerners 27, Odessa College 23. Justin Davis to Jefferson, all the way over to Dawson John. Inside to Tyson Brown. Bounce pass to Dawson John. To Jefferson.
A lot of dribbling by the Westerners.
Foul call.
And they are gonna call the foul, I guess, on Ford. Dennis Jenkins, that'll be his third, I believe.
Yeah.
So that'll put Jefferson back at the line for two.
That's shot is made.
Well, Odessa has plenty of offensive firepower in the starting lineup and, of course, on the bench.
And Westerners are really doing a good job, even with just 7 players. Ball's been given over to Terry Brown. Bounce pass into Daniel Rivera to Marshall. All the way across to Terry Brown. He makes a 3. Making it 29-26. Westerners leading by 3. Lorenzo Downey to Justin Davis to Dawson John. to Lorenzo, to Tyson Brown, all the way across to Dawson John, to Jefferson, to Davis. He makes a three.
Big three by Justin Davis. 32-26, Westerners, 5:16 to go in the first half.
Terry Brown has the ball. Gives it over to Marshall. He shoots. Airballed it.
Well, Odessa certainly is capable of shooting and making threes, but I think the Westerners are hoping that in the zone that Odessa may rush and may not be able to shoot them out of that zone.
Dawson John to Lorenzo to Justin Davis. Knocked out of bounds.
Odessa is scoring about 80 points a game on the season and allowing about 69.
Lorenzo Downey goes in and goes up. No foul called.
Well, I think they're going to call it on KB going back the other way, I presume.
Nope, they're going to call it on Tyson Brown.
Tyson Brown.
That'll be the third foul on the board, which isn't bad for the first half of the game.
No, it's the second on Tyson, though, and that can hurt. Let's see what Coach Matt Hardy decides to do. 4:43 to go in the first half. Westerners trying to cling to this 6-point lead.
Airball shot saved by KV. Dawson John has the ball. Bounce passes it over to Lorenzo Downey inside to KB. He makes the shot.
Boy, nice shot. That medium range jump shot that not a lot of guys concentrate on. Nice shot by KB. Big bucket.
Inside to Armstrong on the side. Back to Armstrong. He shoots a three. Rebounded by Justin Davis. He's going to bring it all the way down.
Oh, wow. Justin Davis.
Puts it in.
That was all set up by Hustle. Out-hustled two guys for the rebound and then took off like a rocket down to the other end, 36-26. Justin Davis gets the layup, and Westerners lead by 10. We'll be back right after they take this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We're at the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. The Westerners hosting the Odessa Wranglers. The Westerners leading 36-26, 3:49 to go and counting in the first half.
Marshall, these jump shots. Rebounded by.
Oh wow, that's you're even if you hit the ball really clean there. Even if you hit the ball really clean there, and I know KB feels that that's what he did. When you come from behind like that, most of the time they're going to hit you for the foul. And what set that play up too, Walker, was Tyson went up and did great as far as leaping, timing, and ability, but he just wasn't able to physically hang on to it, and that's what created that attempt by KB. In the meantime, Mike Rivera misses the free throw. He has another one coming. Two-shot foul. And Rivera misses both.
He fouled the correct person to foul. He's
Well,
71.4% at the free throw line.
Yeah, 71%'s pretty high, but still, you're right, he missed it. And Tyson moves in, and they're going to call the travel. He was trying to do a drop step, and they said that he turned around before he
I think if they had
too soon,
fouled
half a step too much.
BJ Francis or Jenkins, we probably would have been in a bit of trouble for free throw shots.
Meanwhile, Westerner's back into the zone.
Mike Rivera.
And a nice up and under move by Rivera. When you leave your feet on that defensively, at that point, there's really not much else you can do. 36-28 Westerners inside to Brown. Tyson has to take it back out. KB, wide open and just kind of pulled the strain on it.
That's going to be the third foul on Rivera.
Well, and that could be big. Like I said, between Mike and Daniel Rivera and Dennis Jenkins, if there's three guys that you would prefer to get into foul trouble if possible, those would be the three you pick on. Meanwhile, number 53, Kyrie Huey, a freshman, 6'9", from Grayson, Georgia, for Odessa, checks into the ball game.
Rebounded by Hewlett.
37-28 Westerners, 2:44 to go in the first half. Knocked out of bounds by Odessa. Westerners inbounding. Full court pressure.
Justice Davis away to Tyson Brown. Back to Davis. Inside to KB. To Davis. And it'll be out of bounds. No foul called.
And Tyson was telling KB there, it looked like that he thought he was going to throw it up higher instead of eye level. But the Westerners inbounding, 16 seconds on the shot clock.
Davis with the ball to Tyson. Rebound to the ball.
Oh, and now they're going to call a charge for the hook on Tyson. And Coach Hardy's going to have to take him out of there. That's his third foul.
Ball's been brought down by BJ Francis.
So Jackson into the game. So now the Westerners are really going to be undersized.
Pulled out by Daniel Rivera over the corner to Trey Richardson. He's going to shoot the three. Missed it inside to Daniel Rivera. He's going to make it.
An offensive rebound by Odessa, and I have a feeling that's really going to hurt the Westerners here. Because, again, the one big guy they got's out of the game, and then the Westerners now turn that ball over against the pressure, and Justin Davis comes back.
Okay.
So
that was a bit rude.
I think Davis is, I presume Davis picked up the foul on that.
Yeah. He picked up that foul.
So that's his first. Meanwhile, Francis is going to be at the line.
Misses a shot. Going to bring in Jefferson for Davis.
Francis, a 90% free throw shooter, but he missed that first one. 37-31, the lead back down to 6 for the Westerners against Odessa here at the Coliseum in Snyder. 1:41 to go in the first half.
Dawson John It'll be a timeout.
Yeah, Dawson called a timeout. Coach already wanted to call it to save the possession. So smart play there. All right, there's a timeout on the floor. We're going to take one as well. 37-31. Westerners inbounding the basketball with the lead here in just over a minute to go in the first half. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, a minute 37 to go in the first half. Westerners inbounding against that full court pressure by Odessa. And when you don't pass the ball quickly, that's the kind of jam you can find yourself into. So Odessa now setting up their inbounds plan again with Tyson Brown on the bench. Westerners really undermanned as far as height. And
KB gets that rebound.
KB, he and Lorenzo with the tallest one on the floor, and there they tried to throw it in, and it's a turnover and an easy bucket for Odessa. And a turnovers
shot
is
for
the one thing
foul.
that is the one thing that the Westerners haven't done a lot of, but they have here in the last couple of minutes. Now their forward commits the foul, so it's going to send Jefferson back to the line, who's been able to shoot some free throws, so a chance to score here for the Westerners. Boy, Jefferson, a nice form at the free throw line. Net barely rippled on that one.
Jefferson's been really good at the line today.
And again, at the half, we'll get some statistics to you.
Makes the second shot. 39-33, Westerners. Marshall to Trey Richardson. Up top to Forte.
And
no foul called.
Jackson tried to get the foul, but couldn't get a call, but Odessa did miss the shot.
Marshall to Trey Richardson. Back up to Marshall. To Trey Richardson. To Forte. To Trey. To Daniel Rivera.
And you see Odessa, with all of their talent, when they play a really fast up-tempo game, that's really what they like to do. When you slow them down a bit, they're not quite as efficient.
To Dawson John.
Gets it into the middle, best place to work from there.
Lorenzo Downey.
20 seconds to go in the first half. And the Westerners are playing for the last shot of the half, and up, and Dawson couldn't get it to go. And up by KB. Oh my gosh. And Jackson was falling to the floor, flipped it up, and KB caught it in midair and up off the glass and in. And he's smiling about that one as well as he should. My goodness. 41-33. 41-33, the Westerners with the lead at the half over Odessa. We'll work on getting the first half statistics and get them to you in just a moment. We'll go down and get those from the official score. So we'll be back in just a moment with the statistics from the first half. Again, you're watching Western Texas College Westerner basketball hosting Odessa here at the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas, and Western Athletic Conference play. Hello, everybody. Garen Skates, Walker Barrett here with some statistics from the first half. Let's go down the individual scoring first, and we'll look at some of the other percentages. First of all, for the Odessa Wranglers, 2 points for Ford, 4 for Jenkins, 8 for Daniel Rivera, 2 for Shaquem Alcindor. Then 1 for B.J. Francis, 5 for Terry Brown, 2 Anthony Marshall, 4 for Mike Rivera, 5 by Trey Richardson. The Wranglers shot about 35% from the field in the first half. From the three-point line, they shot 12.5%, and they normally shoot, much better than that. As a matter of fact, as far as three-point field goal percentage, they've been shooting about 31% for the year, so they're way under what they normally shoot, and that has helped out the Westerners a great deal. Free throws, they've only attempted 6, but they've only made 1 for about 17%. For the Westerners, Dawson John with 7, Justin Davis with 8, Kaleem Bennett, KB with 9, Lorenzo Downey with 5, Tyson Brown with 5, Jaden Jefferson, with 6, and 1 by Tylen Jackson. So there's only 7 players tonight for the Westerners, and they've all scored. They've shot 48% from the field in the first half and 43% from the field from the three-point line and 61% from the free throw line. If they had done a little bit better at the free throw line, they'd have a little bit larger lead. And here's the and when you think about attempts, the Westerners have attempted 7 three-point shots, whereas Odessa, to give you an idea of what the game they're comfortable with, have attempted 16. So points off turnovers, Odessa 11, and the Westerners 4. Fast break points, second chance points, Odessa 8 and the Westerners 4. Bench points, Odessa 17 and the Westerners 7. But again, the Westerners only have 2 guys on the bench tonight, so they're without their leading scorer, Gary Clark. So overall, not perfect, but yet, if you're Coach Matt Hardy, I would think that you'd have to be really pleased right now because the Westerners have played really well. So maybe they could keep this up in the second half, and we can score what would probably be considered by many, because we're so outmanned in numbers tonight, probably a big upset. So we'll go from there and see how things work. All right, this is Western Texas College Westerner basketball, and we'll be back in about 6 minutes with the second half. All right, welcome back, everybody. Garen Skates and Walker Barrett here.
Hello.
And an opportunity to wish Walker the best as she takes her academic journey on to Tarleton State University. And so we're glad that we've had her for a couple of years, and we wish her all the best. And Walker, appreciate you being here. And again, it's been a pleasure to be your teacher, and also to have you as a student. So we're in the second half, and Odessa has the basketball to start out with, and the Westerners get a steal. The Westerners, again, with only 7 men available for this game. Dawson John has a shot blocked. Here comes Odessa. The Westerners lead 41-33 as we start the second half, and these first 5 minutes are going to be crucial. And a missed 3. And they go up for the rebound, and Lorenzo Downing for the Westerners is going to get called for the foul. That'll be his second. But the men and the women for Western Texas, they're going to be at Hobbs, New Mexico Saturday in a game there against the Thunderbirds and Lady Thunderbirds. The men will be back home on the 20th against New Mexico Military Institute, and then both teams will be back home on the 24th hosting Frank Phillips. Another steal by the Westerners. Good job by Tyson Brown to take advantage of the loose ball. Back the other way now to Downing. He starts to drive, pulls it back out around to Davis. Odessa in his own, inside to Bennett, and the tip up to Tyson Brown. Nice low post passing there between Bennett and Brown, and it's a 43-33 Westerner lead. For Odessa, back the other way now. You've got Ford with the basketball. Over to Marshall. Let's go, and nails the 3. So Odessa did not shoot well in the first half from three-point range, and if they light it up, the Westerners may have to change defensive strategies. Dawson John with it now, 43-36 Westerners. 18 to go in the second half. Inside to Bennett, back to Brown, up off the glass, good. And again, Odessa had a lot of fouls in the first half. So if they can get the ball down low like that, Brown and Bennett may be able to operate. 45-36, the Westerner lead. Let fly, and there's another 3 by Ford, and that's what Odessa does. After shooting...
He's a 21.4% three-point shooter.
Yeah, after shooting poorly in the first half, they've hit 2 out of 2 now. In the second half has Odessa. Davis inside to Bennett. Open, short range, got it. 47-39 Westerners. 17 and a half to go in the second half, and a timeout called by the Wranglers. We're going to take a break as well. You're watching Western Texas College Westerner basketball. All right, coming back out of the timeout, 47-39 Westerners over Odessa. Westerners with only 7 players available tonight. Odessa with their full complement of their 22nd ranked nationally squad. So the Westerners have played, it's not been perfect basketball, but they have played at a very high level. the Wranglers move around. That time, that three is no good. And they're going to call the foul against KB, Kaleem Bennett. And that's his second, I believe. Meanwhile, Odessa gets the ball underneath, up and in by Mike Rivera. 47-41. Westerners. Bennett over to John. To Davis. Up high to Brown, and it was the right idea, but just bad execution.
Too high up in the air for him really to bring down where it needed to go.
Yeah. And the shot over Brown, and Dennis Jenkins gets it, and here comes Odessa with the run we knew they were going to make. 47-43 Westerners. On top, Downing to John. And again, attacking the middle of that zone, and Tyson Brown gets the bucket. So the Wranglers are content. They're going to shoot threes. That's what they do.
Yep.
And they're content to open up that middle right now and see if KB and Brown can continue to score. Odessa now starts to make a move. On top is Brown. Inside, Rivera travels. I didn't hear the whistle right away, so I thought he was not going to get called for that. But a turnover back to the Westerners, and Daniel Rivera checks in for Garfield Turner. Again, a lot of players at Coach Bauman's disposal for Odessa.
And he just sends them in constantly.
Downey up ahead to John. Over to Bennett. Out to Downing. Back to John. A good save by KB there.
He
Downing
wasn't even
now.
looking where he passed that ball.
Davis makes the move to the bucket. Can't get it to go.
It was in and he knocked it out.
Nice idea by Justin. Back the other way. Missed layup there. Davis ahead to Dawson John. Oh, and they're going to call a charge. Oh, my goodness. Dawson John was trying to grab the basketball, and the Odessa player moved in front of him. So a tough call against Dawson. That'll be his first, I believe it is. 3 team fouls for the Westerners and none yet for Odessa, and that was completely flipped in the first half. I'm sure Coach Bauman filled the officials' ears on that. Inside and open is Odessa, but a charge is called on the away from the ball.
That's going to be on Mike Rivera. That's going to be
Mike
forced.
Rivera pushed
Jackson.
I was going to say Tylen Jackson came into the game. Brown back in.
He grabbed his foot. As Tylen Jackson went to go around him, Mike Rivera reached down and just grabbed his foot.
Well, 4 team fouls on Mike Rivera. Or 4 personal fouls, excuse me. Downing up ahead to Davis. Left side now into the middle of the court. Pulls it back out. Dawson John inside to Brown. Tyson. KB. Foul. Oh, my goodness. A no call. And Matt Hardy's pleading for a call. So they're going to call it out of bounds on the tip for Odessa. And Odessa bringing in 5 new players.
Of course they are. Let's just flaunt around that we have enough players.
Huey is in. Ford is in for Odessa. Downing for 3. Can't get it to go. And too high over the head of Justin Davis, and an open layup at the other end for Hewlett. 49-45. Westerners working against the trap. Up to Brown. Back to John. The dribble over Davis. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Odessa now back to the man-to-man. To Downing, and the ball stolen by Marshall, who anticipated that pass. And that's where the turnovers and the points off of the turnovers really hurting the Westerners in this game. Westerner lead down to 2 now. Up ahead to KB. Inside to Tyson. Up and under. Avoided the block and got the bucket. Great move by Tyson Brown. 14 minutes to go in the second half. 51-47 Westerners.
Westerners need to pull those fouls down here underneath our basket. If they can get those fouls drawn, we can get more shots and we can get their good players fouled out.
Ford with it now, back behind him to Marshall. And a 3, no good by the Wranglers. Missing was Hewlett. Downey now back the other way for the Westerners. Into Brown, starts to make a move, up, can't get it to go, and no call. Here comes Hewlett, pushing the ball up. Back to Turner. Down low, the shot up, no good. Brown tips it out. Rebound, Westerners, after Huey misses the shot. Matt Hardy tells Dawson John to slow it down and run the offense. KB, Davis, John, and bad pass to Tyson Brown. Again, right idea, but poor execution.
Wrong.
12. Just well, the thing of it
Process.
is that you've got to get. The problem is that for that play to work, have a better chance of working, a better angle just needs to be had for the entry pass. There's a timeout. 51-47. Westerners leading Odessa. We're in the second half with about 12 and a half to go. We'll be back in just a minute.
We've got this.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Garen Skates and Walker Barrett here at the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas, and the Westerners with only 7 players available for tonight's game. We go back to that because Odessa's got everybody. They're ranked 22nd in the nation, and the Westerners are giving them right now all they can handle. They lead 51-47, 12:45 to go in the second half. Odessa basketball. Hewlett with it. Pass over to Marshall, right side. Starts to make the dribble, turn around, the spin move, kicks it out for the open 3, no good. The fight for the rebound. And, boy, they're going to call KB for the foul over the back, and that's from well behind the, from well away from behind the play. All right, so going to the line will be Shaquem Alcindor. And the free throw is up, and it's good.
He's a 60% free throw shooter.
Trey Richardson checks into the game for Odessa.
Now Mike Rivera and Jenkins.
Comes in, and again, you wonder about Coach Matt Hardy's team. Can they keep from wearing down and withstand the Odessa run? 51-49, the Westerner lead is now 2. They get it into Davis. He's bumped, but no call. Over to Dawson John, back to Davis.
Oh, he wasn't just bumped. The guy just went over his back.
Davis now calls out the movement. Bennett over to John. And gets it down to Bennett, and he's fouled by Marshall.
Nope.
So Anthony Marshall, I believe, picks up the foul. He whistled 11. And then Downing now with the basketball, starts to move in to Brown, back to Bennett, makes the move, and the block is called on Odessa. And Colleen Bennett hits the floor hard.
They're going to call that on.
I thought they were going to get it on Danish Jenkins, but I'm not sure.
They haven't put the fouls up there.
No, I'm looking to see. Well, all right, we're waiting for the designation on the scoreboard. Let's see, Turner's up there. He's got one. Okay. Ford's got one. Well, I don't know. Right now, number 4 is not listed on the scoreboard yet. On the floor for Odessa, that's Dennis Jenkins. I thought it might be against him, but I'm not really sure.
I thought he held up. I thought the first one was held up was 15, but they're not.
Well, 15 has a foul on him on the board. That's Garfield Turner. So
He should have 2 if it was called on him.
So Bennett at the line to shoot free throws. Gets the first one.
Yes, that one's going to be on Jenkins. That's going to be his 4th.
KB is 65% free throw shooter on the season. And they're still trying to get some moisture up off the floor, and the official having to do janitor duties down there. All right, Bennett has another free throw coming. It's up, and it's in. Westerners lead 53-49. 11:49 to go in the second half. Jaden Jefferson checks into the game, and the Westerners go back into the 2-3 zone. Odessa into Ford, goes toward the bucket and gets it off the glass and in. Lead back down to 2 for the Westerners. Davis to Downing, back to Davis. Tyson Brown, we're close to where Tyson could do anything with it. So it's a turnover back to...
And Trey Richardson makes it.
...to the Wranglers, and Richardson hits the 3, and Odessa has their first lead of the ball game at 54-53. So the Westerners need to keep playing smart and keep their head here. John with the basketball now, dribbles to the right side, gets a screen, starts to move in, puts it up, and contact, but no call, and here comes Odessa. And the tip, no good. Jefferson quickly ahead up to John, and he gets the layup.
55-4.
55
by 1.
Yeah. 55-54, just as Walker said. Westerners lead by 1, 10:28 to go in the ball game.
While we're keeping it here for just a second, I want to thank Mr. Skates for the opportunity he's given me these past few years of broadcasting games for him and helping him out and him teaching me. And I look forward to coming back and learning more, hopefully someday.
All right. Well, I was going to say you're moving on. And you'll be, it's a great opportunity, and you'll be able to take advantage of the experience. All right, there's a minute timeout on the floor. Let's go ahead and take one. Westerners lead 55-54. Good ball game. We'll be right back. You're watching Western Texas College basketball from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. The Westerners, only 7 players available tonight, taking on the full squad of Odessa. Odessa rated 22nd in the nation. The Wranglers with the basketball. The Westerners with a 1-point lead at the moment. 10:15 to go. Odessa now with the basketball. Hewlett, and letting fly for 3 is Ford, and that's Odessa. Oh, and a steal by Hewlett, and that hurt. 59 to 55, excuse me. Odessa, 4-point lead. That's their biggest of the game. And a foul
on Ford
as Jefferson was braining the ball up. But that's what Odessa does. They shot threes very poorly in the first half. They normally shoot it at a much better clip, and they have come out firing here in the second half. Davis with the basketball now to Brown. Starts to make a move back to Davis. Goes in, off the glass, good. 59-57 Odessa, the lead and the basketball. Westerners back into the zone. Hewlett to Marshall. Back out to Hewlett. Dribbles to the top of the key. Marshall open for 3. No good. And a collision. And I guess it's going to be out of bounds on
It's going to be out of bounds on
Jackson. So it'll be Odessa basketball on the inbound. They get it out to Ford. Jenkins inside, back to Ford. Throws it out. Hewlett for 3. No good. Rebound, Brown. Jefferson back the other way now for the Westerners. Davis to Downing, back to Davis, and he throws it out of bounds. He thought Lorenzo was going to move over to the wing. And Dawson John and Kaleem Bennett's going to check back in, give Justin Davis a little bit of a rest. And Jackson will come out for the Westerners. Odessa with the basketball. Dennis Jenkins with the dribble now. Makes a move, goes to the rim, and split the defense and got an open layup. 61-57 Odessa. And Dawson John has the ball stolen from him. And this is where you got to get careful before the wheels fall off. Odessa now been able to take advantage of some WTC turnovers. And that's a kick. 63-57. 7:59 to go in the game. Largest lead of the game for Odessa. John to Brown at the foul line. Tyson moves in and dribbles it away.
Those turnovers
maybe
them.
Trying to do a little bit too much there. Well, that's right. You know, the Westerners have been taking pretty good care of the basketball overall, and in the last 3 minutes here, they've had quite a few turnovers, and that's allowed Odessa to, they've started to hit the threes and started to get some easy buckets, and it's making the difference. Jenkins moves in, kicks it out for 3, no good, and the tip out right back to the Wranglers. And
Mike Rivera is out.
Oh, and Mike Rivera with the foul. We'll see if the Westerners will be able to take advantage of some of that. Turner comes in, or starts to. For Daniel Rivera. And again, full court pressure pretty much the entire game by the Wranglers. Ooh, and a save there by Jackson.
That's Jefferson.
Or Jefferson, excuse me. On a turnover. Downing out with it. Picks up his dribble. And KB not able to save the possession. Oh, and that time he did force Marshall into a dribble on the out-of-bounds line, a double dribble. So the Westerners catch a break there and get the ball back. Westerners not out of it by any means, but they're going to have to take care of the basketball. And again, Odessa's been employing that full court pressure the entire game. And they're going to get a foul on Trey Richardson.
Oh! 2 fouls on Trey Richardson. One's a technical and one's an defensive foul.
I was going to say, just when I looked down to mark the foul, evidently he voiced his opposition too much. Well, that's big because that's going to let Dawson John go to the line. And this is going to be 2 shots here. So a chance for the Westerners to score while the clock is stopped. And cut the lead down a little bit. And he's 1 out of 2 there. And the Westerners should get the ball inbounds.
Get the ball back.
They inbound it. Back to Downey. John with it. Picks up his dribble. Jefferson with it now. Takes a dribble. Spin move. Up toward the basket.
Yeah!
Can't get it to go, but he was fouled. He draws the foul, and that's big because you want to get to the line to try to score while the clock is stopped if at all possible.
They're going to put it on Terry Brown. Be his second.
18 fouls on Odessa. And Jefferson at the line misses the free throw. And again, that's where the one thing that has hurt the Westerners tonight, besides the turnovers, has been the free throw shooting. They've left a lot of points at the line.
I believe the last counted, they left about 23 points at the line.
So 63-58. And Jefferson's going to try to cut the deficit if he can to 4, and he does. Some more substitutions by Odessa. They have a ton of people. Hewlett inbounding to Jenkins.
If they can get rid of Jenkins right now.
Well, and Ford has really hurt him from the outside.
Yeah. Well, Ford's got 2 at the moment.
And inside, Alcindor gets open for the dunk. Jefferson avoids dribbling into the trap. John now back to Jefferson. Pulls up for the shot.
Yes!
Got it.
Woo-hoo!
And it's a 3 by Jefferson. A big bucket for the Westerners. They pulled it within 3. 65-62. 6:14 to go in the ball game.
Jefferson's helped this team really pull back together with 12 points on the board.
And then he makes a steal. That pass was intended for Hewlett for a 3, and Jefferson anticipated it. Now he goes, finds some opening, and Brown up with the offensive rebound. Tyson Brown. And a timeout on the floor, and the Westerners, who were down by 6, and looked like they were just about ready to start to kind of lose some things here. 65-64, they're back to within one.
This is our Westerners we know and love.
All right, you're watching Westerner basketball from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. The Westerners down. Oh, evidently that was a 2, not a 3. So a point comes off the board for the Westerners. They're down to Odessa 65-63 with 5:53 to go in the ball game. I'm Garrett Skates. I'm here with Walker Barrett, and we're here in Western Athletic Conference play at the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. The Wranglers with the basketball now. Ford out to Rivera, around the horn to Hewlett. Alcindor back to Ford, and a steal.
Nice job!
Another steal by Jefferson, who's had a really solid 2.5, 3 minutes of play here. And you can see the confidence is starting to grow in him. Davis fires for 3.
Rebounded by Tyson Brown.
And he goes up strong.
And get fouled.
Can't get it to go, but he's going to draw the foul against Alcindor.
That's big.
That'd be, I believe, 3 on him.
Yes, that's 3 on him.
So to give Tyson Brown a chance to get to the line again for some free throws. So Brown will have 2 shots. He gets the first one. Ford comes out. Darrell Armstrong Jr. for Odessa comes in.
He hasn't played yet.
Tyson Brown.
Oh, yes, he is.
And that skims off the edge of the rim. So again, free throw shooting hurting the Westerners. 65-64, Odessa with the basketball and a 1-point lead. Jenkins with the basketball now. Thought about the 3, over to Hewlett. Starts to drive inside. Ball tipped, back to Hewlett, and he keeps control and gets the bucket. And again, the Westerners work.
He's
no
fouled.
call as he goes up for the dunk. And Jefferson threw the ball back in, I believe, off of Odessa, so it'd be Wrangler basketball.
Right before that play, Tyson Brown went up with the ball. Number 32 grabbed him and just threw him behind him.
So, yeah, they're letting him play down there. All right, Jefferson looking for someone to get it into.
Ooh,
Gets it to
nice.
Davis.
Nice bunny hops.
All right, 4:35 to go in the ball game. And Dawson sort of got kind of caught underneath there, Dawson John, and just spun around and dragged his foot and traveled. So the Westerners, again, go back on defense down. Kaleem Bennett checks into the game. 4:27 left in the ball game, and it's the Wranglers basketball, and they lead 67-64. Westerners trying to get a stop here. Hewlett with the basketball. Armstrong over there. They look inside. Alcindor open to Jenkins and misses the 3. And
No call, timeout.
Timeout called by Odessa. So we're going to take a call timeout as well, and then we'll be back. Again, you're watching Westerner basketball from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Westerners down 3 to Odessa, 67-64. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, welcome back, everybody. Garen Skates, Walker Barrett here. 4:05 to go in the ball game. Odessa inbounding the basketball. They get it into Hewlett, who pulls it back out. Odessa leads 67-64. Jenkins with it, the step back three, launches, and they're going to call the foul on Colleen Bennett. My goodness. It's going to be 3, I believe, on KB.
Nope.
4.
That's 4.
And then Jenkins for Odessa will go to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
And he's an 82.8% free point shooter.
Yeah, he's an excellent shooter and their leading scorer. That gives him 9 points in this game. Ford has been huge.
Our leading scorer tonight is Tyson Brown with 16 points.
All right, so Jenkins finishes at the free throw line and Marshall comes in for him, so the Wranglers lead now 69-64. The Westerners nearly turn it over again against that pressure.
Jenkins back in.
They get it into Jefferson, who tried to throw it off the hand.
They're going to call a foul on Lorenzo Downey, which will be his 3rd.
Well, not the kind of sequence you want to have. And Lorenzo's kind of struggled to get into the offensive flow here in the last couple of minutes.
He usually has about 10 to 12 points on the board.
Well, Lorenzo coming into this game was averaging 14 points a game on the season. The officials are having a discussion now. So 3:47 to go in the ball game, and the Westerners are going to have a rough go of it here unless they can get a couple of stops. Hewlett now back to Jenkins. Westerners back into the 2-3 zone. And inside, They're going to call the foul and count the bucket by Daniel Rivera.
Tyson Brown, that's 4 for him. There's only 5 of the players that have fouls.
71-64. The free throw is off. Jefferson gets the rebound. Brings it up ahead to KB. Jefferson with the dribble, top of the key. Tries to get it inside to Tyson and off of his hands. Tough pass to handle when you're that close, when you put that much pace on it. And so just turnovers and some missed opportunities by the Westerners here. But
they played
again,
a good game.
There's 3 minutes left. I mean, if they can get a couple of stops and get a couple of buckets, you know, they still have a chance to make it interesting. Jenkins now guarded by Dawson John. Starts to make a move, kicks it out. And for 3, no good, downing the rebound. John now back the other way, and the Westerners need a basket. 2 or 3, but we need something. Brown to Bennett. Spin move inside. And Brown is going to draw the foul. We'll see who they get it on.
They're going to be on Rivera.
So Daniel Rivera draws the foul. It'd be 2 shots for Tyson Brown, which if he can hit those, it works because it allows you to score while the clock is stopped. And Tyson gets the first one. And he sort of almost reached out without thinking about it. He's used to a guy standing there. He was so into the game, he didn't realize it was Jenkins from the other team. And 1 out of 2 there again on that trip to the free throw line. So again, the Westerners left a lot of points at the free throw line tonight. Jenkins now with the dribble. And moves over to the right side, makes a move toward the basket. Tipped. Oh, by Bennett, right into Alcindor.
And Tyson Brown's out.
And Alcindor moves up, and Brown blocks the shot.
Oh, no.
And they're going to, no, it was, I think they called him, before he shot the ball, I think they called it travel, is what it was. That's why they waved it off. 71-65 Odessa, 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Westerners with a shot at it, but they're going to need to score. Bennett moves in off the glass.
Yeah.
Got it. And KB gets the bucket. Coach Hardy calls a timeout, and it narrows the deficit to 4. 71-67. Odessa leading, 1:53 to go. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Final minute 52. Odessa, the Wranglers with the basketball. Western Texas down by 4, 71-67. Here at the Coliseum in Snyder. Jenkins now with it, out to the left side. Marshall back to Jenkins. Westerners working the zone. Marshall fires up a 3. Ball tipped out and Downing with the rebound. Big rebound by Lorenzo Downing. Dawson John comes up. with the dribble. Westerners need to score. They don't have to have a three. John now with the basketball. Moves over. Jefferson makes a move. And Hewlett was standing on the end line when he was trying to save the ball back in, so to stay Westerner basketball. A minute to go. If the Westerners could somehow get a quick, at least a two. Brown loads up for the jumper, and no good. And Coach Hardy, not exactly what they were looking for out of that offensive possession.
They're just going to hold it so the Westerners can't get any more chances.
Well, they can't, with the shot clock, there's 15 seconds on it. They can't hold it for the rest of the possession, but the Westerners do need a stop. And Jenkins pulls up, misses the three. Jefferson with it. Oh, and throws the ball. Tries to whip the pass, and it goes off of Jenkins. Out of bounds. All right, and Marshall comes out, and in comes Terry Brown. All right, now
I bet that hurt.
I think there's a discussion about the shot clock. The shot clock's off right now. Okay, because there's 20 seconds on the game clock. So the Westerners are going to need to score and get the ball back. Downing over to John. Goes to the rim, gets free. Doesn't score. That would have been big. But he was fouled, so he's going to get to shoot two. So for Dawson John, with 12 seconds to go, you have a chance to score with the clock stopped. And a timeout called by Odessa. Westerners down 3 to the Wranglers. With 12 seconds to go, they're at the free throw line. They have another shot coming. And we'll see what happens. They're down by 3, 71-68. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back from the timeout. It's been quite a game. The Westerners only having 7 available players tonight against the 22nd ranked Odessa Wranglers, who had the full complement. And Westerners down 71-68. Dawson John makes the free throw. They're down 71-69. 12 seconds to go. Odessa inbounding, and they foul Daniel Rivera. He'll go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 opportunity. So for the Westerners, of course, you're hoping that, one, you've got to be ready to block out, and you're hoping that Daniel Rivera does not make more than one of these free throws. If you can If he misses this first one and you get the rebound, the Westerners will have a chance to go down and either tie to send the game to overtime or win on a three-point shot. Rivera, smooth free throw shooter, makes that one. So they're up ahead by 3. If he makes this one, it's going to make things very difficult for the Westerners. But Coach Matt Hardy of the Westerners calls a timeout, so we're going to take another one, and we'll be back right after this. All right, we're back from the timeout. Daniel Rivera for the Wranglers for Odessa has a free throw coming. Odessa does lead the Westerners 72-69. They lead by 3. About 11 and a half seconds left to go in this ball game. Rivera up, and he makes the free throw. Quickly come the Westerners. And a timeout called with 7 seconds to go by Coach Matt Hardy. So the Westerners, to kind of recap quickly how we got here. Again, as we mentioned before, they only had 7 players available. Odessa came in with the 22nd ranked team in the nation. And the Westerners gave them all they could handle. They led at the half, 41-33, the Westerners did. And Odessa put on a run. The Westerners, unfortunately, missed free throws and committed quite a few turnovers that allowed some quick and easy buckets for the Wranglers, and they were able to pull ahead. And the Wranglers didn't grab the lead in this game until the second half. And then they were able to push the lead to 6. And so it's been back and forth from 2 to 6 for several minutes now here till the end of the ball game. So the Westerners, there's no such thing obviously as moral victories, but they certainly probably have surprised a lot of people tonight, being as shorthanded as they are. You know, to give themselves an opportunity. 7 seconds to go, though, and they're down by 4. And we'll see what Coach Hardy drew up here. Oh, and it went through the hands of Bennett. And Odessa makes the layup at the other end. And it's going to be a 75-69 Odessa win. That time the ball went through the hands of Bennett and Downing, and I'm not sure. I guess there was some confusion. So anyway, the Westerners, a very game effort. Before they fall to Odessa, 75-69. And again, we hope that for Coach Matt Hardy's sake that they'll be able to get a few players back. We're going to get the final statistics here. And then just to remind everybody what's going on schedule-wise, the Westerners will be back home on the 20th. They have 3 road games. And then they'll be back home on the 20th against New Mexico Military Institute. And then on Monday, the 24th, they'll be at home along with the ladies as they host Frank Phillips College. Both the men and the women are at New Mexico Junior College this Saturday the 8th. On Monday the 10th, they're at Midland, and on Monday the 17th, they're both at South Plains College as they go into the heavy part of their conference season. So we're going to go ahead and take it for just a bit to run down and get some stats, and we'll give you the final statistics of the ball game. We'll be right back.